I was talking to one of my lads last night about Scientology. He'd seen a book I got on my shelf written by L. Ron Hubbard, and he was asking me about it. And then we got on talking about the beliefs that Scientologists appear to hold, particularly some of the wackier ones, you know, the whole Xenu, volcanoes, aliens living inside your head, all that kind of stuff, which is really, really, really hard to take even remotely seriously, I think it's fair to say. And just how odd it is that what appear to be at least reasonably intelligent people, I mean they are actors, so, but reasonably intelligent people like Tom Cruise and John Travolta and Will Smith and whoever else in Hollywood, being Scientologists, presumably believe this stuff. So what's that all about? I mean, on the one hand, it might just be that, I don't know, it's kind of like a myth, maybe it's just a myth, so they believe it in the way that a lot of modern Christians believe in the creation myth, that it's a story, it doesn't necessarily have to be taken seriously, it's a series of metaphors. Maybe it's like that. I don't think so though, because that's not how it presents itself in the literature, certainly, is it? So maybe there's other things for it. I think it's something like a psychological exercise, spiritual exercise, like a modern version of Loyola, kind of brainwashing exercise. I know it's a loaded term, but because to believe that kind of stuff, that takes an enormous amount of effort, it seems to me. I mean, I can't even hear it without giggling inside, you know. So, you know, to get someone to sit down, or to permit yourself to sit down, because presumably these people know at least a little bit about those ideas before they go in. It's public information, isn't it? I mean, it's not hard to find out. So these people must know that before they start. I'm joining an organisation which believes in Xenu. You know, it must take a huge amount of effort to adopt that belief. So maybe there's something in there about it. Maybe there's something in there about training people. Maybe Scientology, like Dianetic, is like a kind of training process for the strategic enhancement of belief. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're learning how to channel and focus their belief muscles, if I can call them that. Because doing that, you know, particularly on something as wacky as that, requires a kind of narrowing of the focus of belief, doesn't it? As well as an effort of will to, yeah, and the stranger that a belief, and something they don't get much stranger than that, do they? The more effort you have to put in ignoring other things. I mean, the age of the Earth in Scientology is like 1,000 times older than it really is, or something like that. So you have to ignore all the geological evidence, you have to ignore all the astrophysical evidence, you have to ignore everything you know, really, in order to focus down and get a cognitive association going with these wacky ideas. Massive amount of focused attention there, and conscious ignoring, strategic ignoring of what everybody says is the truth, and which I certainly believe is as near to truth as we can get, which is, you know, the world as described by the best science we have and interpersonal engagements we have, intersubjective ideas that we develop amongst ourselves. But as I say, they don't do that, or they develop this other capacity, and that's what Scientology encourages them to do. So I think maybe that's the purpose. That it's not like a foundational myth. It's about, okay, you want to gain control over your life, you want to be a powerful individual in Hollywood, you want to live in the world that you make, which seems to be what Scientology is about. Then in order to do that, you have to develop your belief muscles. You have to develop a capacity to believe something which is really hard, and you have to consciously disregard a lot of the things you know now. Everything you know is wrong. I think it was Fire Science Theatre who originally said that. Everything you know is wrong. Xenu is right. If you can wrap your head around that, then it's a piece of piss to believe you're a really great actor, even though you're only 5'2". I think that's partly how it is, really. It's a self-help thing, isn't it, really, Scientology? And, of course, a bunch of wankers.